me see where the ship at. Where the ship? Ship is right there. All right. So yeah, I'm Ibn Darrell. I'm the founder of Ground Up Distribution, and you know we're coming out with a course. It's really a roundup, a summit where we want people who are serial entrepreneurs, serious serial entrepreneurs who's looking to grow their portfolio. I started out in wealth management with Morgan Stanley, and when I was there, I gained experience on how people build wealth through trust and the magnitude of trust and annuities. And as I grew as an entrepreneur, I got into transportation in about 20. I didn't had experience in transportation since 2014, so that's about 11 years now. And I've been making equity, private equity, in the transportation sector consistently since 2018. We done had some hiccups and shit, but we only been down for like 2-3 months at a time, and then we pop right back. You know, that's just part of the game. But yeah, we got this conference that's coming. It's coming out and it's gonna be in March is what we looking at. Depending on how many people sign up, that's gonna be the date. But we really just need people that's serious about building private wealth, right? Not people that's trying to be out here and get rich and famous. No, we want people that wants to build, and the word that we're gonna use is gonna be germinate your operations. What does that mean? That means germinate so you can create a system that works. And then once you create that system that works, then you scale it, right? And like my grandma wisdom, I came here the day my grandmother died, and they got a horse that's made of steel out here, and it's down yonder, and it's it's symbolic of where my grandma come from, the Barns of Kentucky. She come from the Barns of Kentucky. We're gonna be talking about how to get access to these ports and how to create a system that works for your portfolio. So now it's not, stocks are derivative accounts, whether you realize it or not. But now you're profiting directly from the operation of the company that you're vested in, right? So you're creating your own staff. This is kind of how Morgan Stanley operates. They hire independent contractors to establish their sole proprietorship with Morgan Stanley, and therefore you have teams of sole proprietors. That's just it's actually a respect to man and to human, to man and woman, right? So that's how we gonna be built, and you know we just asking that you take us serious, you take it serious. Each purchase is gonna come with 3 additional guest tickets, so you can bring another couple if you take your lady or your man. You know, for the ladies, if y'all come, you can bring another couple with you. But we just really are doing this to build something that's going to be solid for the next century and further. So now we talking about your kids, the kid. Even if you don't have kids, there's kids growing up around you who is going to be the ones who's carrying the torch of life forward, right? So this is just a rough draft. I'm gonna come in. We're gonna be professional. I just launched our site, DarylQ Slade practices.org, right? .org. So we growing, we scaling, and we selling these courses. So we got our academy. Here you see the ports. So you see the Navy. You see the Navy Yard. These are real life Navy ships. My father was in the Navy. He told me that when he was in Japan, it was a flight. It was a aircraftman, like in the Air Force. They took off from the Navy base, the Navy ship that they had in Japan, and when it went up, I don't know if it got shot up or what, but the plane crashed, and both of the pilots were deceased from that. And it was a ship that had to come from Charleston, my dad said, to where they were at, and they got there in like 2 days. He said, from here. This is what my father always tells. If you talk to my father, ask him about his time in the Navy. That's it. So son, you honor thy father. You feel me? So this is honor my father by having his grandson being from this base, near this base. You feel me? And so that's the legacy. That's the legacy. And these are ancient ports. This is an ancient territory. It's called Chicora, the original name for Carolina, Chicora. And this is on Chicora land. So this was a empress stone, meaning that the empresses was the ones who not only was running this, but it was a part of a matriarchal empire, right? From all over Europa. That's why the ties with England is really strong, because of Europa. Europa was the original one who was actually of the ethnic stock. She was the one who was connected in these lands to her lands in ancient times. That's why you got to read ancient and modern Britain. Today is the day that my book turns 8. December the 12th, 2017 is when I made my first publishing in these Carolinas. So, go get the alarm clock. Definitely use promo code DarylQ Slade. Get it today on the date of purchase, because it'll have intrinsic value. You could purchase it, download your receipt, and put it into the book so that you can, it'll be valued at the date of the publishing, the official publishing date, the official launch. So yeah, I'm gonna launch the DarylQSlade.org, DarylQSladePractices.org today. Peace, inshallah. Take your time. La clave es la paciencia. Have a Bruno Dia. Our sun is going into Sagittarius out of Scorpio. It should be in there by now, but we got a new moon coming up because we've seen the moon this morning. Oh, the moon's right there. Wow. Yeah, the moon is right there. Feel me? I don't know if you can see it on here. Yep, you can see it on there if you really look. It's right there. It's right there. See that white toenail? She got a French tip. You feel me? So the moon is in Leo. We got a moon in Leo. So by the time it gets to Scorpio, we're gonna have a new moon in Sagittarius. And so yeah, that's it. Is my report correct? This 12th day of the 12th month. The sun said 24/7. 24/7. So the sun is directly over this port, shining right directly over this port, which I'm gonna do some studies to correlate this peninsula to the woman's clitoris. I'm just gonna have to say it like that. The anatomy of the woman is the anatomy of this landmass, right? Of this port. So these are like the vaginal canals. Okay, that's the vet, but so that's the work we doing. So get the alarm clock, use the promo code, and get it off of No More Suits, and we're gonna put it on. We'll put it on the org joint too. So with that said, I'm finna be out. Peace.